Agriculture in Sri Lanka mainly includes two seasons. The Yala and Maha cultivating seasons commence, taking into account monsoonal rain. Rainfall from the northeast monsoon is used to nourish agricultural lands during the Maha season, while cultivating for the Yala season is done during the southwest monsoon. Southwest monsoonal rains are generally received from May to September, and the western slopes of the central hills can expect more rain during this time. Although this is the expected weather condition, weather patterns do not follow standard forecasts at certain times. Due to this, prior to the start of a cultivation season, all institutions related to water use, including the Mahaweli Authority, Irrigation Department, Electricity Board and Meteorological Department, reach preliminary conclusions based on the data they possess. Farmers are advised to cultivate according to the recommendations of these authorities. What happened this Yala season? The Water Management Committee meeting for the current Yala season was held on the 23rd of March under the chairmanship of Minister of Irrigation Roshan Ranasinghe. During this meeting, the Natural Resources Management Centre of the Department of Agriculture had clearly indicated that there could be a decrease in rainfall. According to the facts revealed during the investigation carried out by News First, the software called Vista, which is owned by the National Water Management Secretariat, has also provided a prediction regarding a possible dry weather spell. The Department of Meteorology stated that in April, it had pointed out that rainfall will decrease in the central hills.
We usually have a discussion before the start of the monsoon and bring together all the agencies that work with water and inform them what the next monsoon will be like. During this year's discussion, we announced in April that this time the southwest monsoon will be a little more than usual. However, the central hills will receive lesser rain this time. The El Nino condition and other conditions in the Indian Ocean would result in the reduction of rainfall. And we pointed this out in the discussion held in April.
However, regardless of these preconceived notions, a decision had been made during the Mahaweli Water Management Committee meeting to provide water until the end of the Yala season. On the 10th of July, the Mahaweli Authority promised to release water to the farmers despite this dry weather.
I can assure you that the situation in 2003 was much more worse than this. Now there is no such issue. We only have to manage this matter. We need to provide water for another 50 days. The water of the reservoir would finish by the 1st or 2nd of September. We will receive rain at least once by then. Even if there is no rainfall, I told you that we have to provide water for only 50 more days. Kotmale has about 120 acre feet. Let's remove 25 from that. Let's divide 100 by 50. That will be 2. The maximum amount we can provide from the Bovatanna is 2.45 or 2.5. That means if we divert the entire Kotmale reservoir for this purpose, that will be sufficient. We are confident that with your help, we can solve this issue. But manage this for us properly.
What happened to the water in the Mahaweli River? Water from reservoirs including Kotmale filled by the rainfall to the central hills is released to the Polgola reservoir, and from there the water can be diverted in two directions. Water can be supplied to the Mahaweli farmlands through Bovatanna in Ukuwela towards Anuradhapura, where farming is of major importance. The amount of electricity that can be generated from the power plants on that route is only 88 megawatts. However, if the water from Polgola is released to the Victoria Reservoir, it has the potential to produce 380 megawatts. Senior officials of the Mahaweli Authority stated that more than 57 million cubic meters of water was wasted due to the release of water to the Victoria Reservoir for electricity generation. This is due to the overflow of water diverted from Victoria Reservoir and Randanigala Reservoir to the Maduru Oya Reservoir and Ulhitia for power generation. Senior officials of the Mahaweli Authority say that if the water was released to the Kalawava, agricultural lands in the Mahaweli H zone would not be in crisis. If so, did the crisis arise because power generation was prioritized over providing water for cultivations? Did the officials of the Mahaweli Authority make repeated promises to the farmers without being aware of this situation? Although dry weather is a natural condition, whose decisions led to this crisis emerging prematurely? The H zone is the largest contributor of harvests to the country from the entire Mahaweli project. The Mahaweli H zone comprises Tamputtegama, Talawa, Eppavala, Nochchiyagama, Maha Iluppallama, Galneva and Megaleva. Agricultural lands in this area are nourished through the Kala Weather. Taking into account the promise of officials, farmers in the Mahaveli H zone cultivated 62,500 acres of paddy fields. But these fields have been dealt a deadly blow after the water released from the Kotmale reservoir to the Kalaweva was limited. The Water Secretary's office of Kalaweva points out that the level of water in Kalaweva has dropped to 21,000 acre feet.
ජලපාලන අධ්‍යක්ෂකවරයා එදා 7 වෙනි මාසේ 10 වෙනිදා ප්‍රකාශ කළ පරිදි
On the 10th of July, the Director of Water Management assured that there is sufficient water in Kotmale and that it will be provided to us to cultivate. But that assurance has wavered from time to time. They claim 2,000 acre feet can be provided to the Kalaweva daily, but today only 600 acre feet has been released. 934 is released from the left canal. How can the deficit be fulfilled? People in the H zone make very rational demands. They are not aggressive, so do not force the people onto the streets and provide the required water.
These farmers require water to be released in 3 more instances in order to save their paddy lands. Therefore, water between 12,000 and 14,000 acre feet must be released per instance from the Kalaweva. Releasing water from the left bank of the Mahaveli H zone has already commenced and it is being released at an intensity of 1,800 acre feet. However, farmers claim that quantity of water is severely insufficient.
මේ ගොවියන් මතාත්තගේ ජීවිතත් එක්ක සෙල්ලම් කරන්න එපා. ගොවියාගේ ජීවිතේ මහා විනාශයකට අද දාපු කාලවක වුණා තිබ්බේ. බොහොම අමාරුවෙන් තමයි.
Do not toy with the farmers. The lives of farmers were already in grave danger. They cultivated the yellow season amid many difficulties. Despite the challenges, they cultivated 25,000 hectares. Do not burden them any further and destroy their lives. We want the political authority to know that they should not prepare to change their words to secure their political future. More than 100,000 acres of fields in Balava are already in ruins. Who will be responsible if our 25,000 acres are destroyed? Do not blame natural causes for it. This is not the farmers' fault. These are the shortcomings of the decision makers in this country. Our minister says various things every now and then. Once he said he did not inform the Department of Meteorology. Then he says 50,000 to 100,000 acres will be destroyed. Is the H zone going to face a similar fate?
Agrarian communities in the Mahaveli H zone have no alternative but to seek divine intervention. They converged at the Kadavara Devalaya in Kalaweva this morning. The dry weather conditions have only commenced. If the forecasts of the Department of Meteorology are anything to go by, how severe will the situation become if sufficient rainfall is not experienced till the end of October? Shouldn't authorities act, at least now, to efficiently manage the water that is left?